the son who greatly loves his father. To my beloved who throws himself down and rolls about in dirt and mud for the point of truth, Mr. Z. Shazar. God is with you. He will not abandon you or weaken you. Do not be afraid and do not fall. It is upon us to praise and to say the full Hallel and the great Hallel, that precisely now, in these our days, we have a true, holy, and very, very awesome Rebbe and leader, who is the cure for all our wounds. Whatever will be, through him there already is hope for our fate, even for the least worthy of us. For the sicker the person is, the greater the doctor he needs. And if the world would have merited also, at least now, to benefit from his light, already the world would have come to its rectification in perfection. God sends after us and calls us all the time and hints to us with hints to come close to his blessedness. And one must deepen and broaden his thoughts in this to understand the hints of the Blessed One, and sometimes the person is greatly aroused with great arousal to bind and to attach to the tzaddik, upon whom depends all the holiness of his Judaism. Precisely then, the Satan fights against this greatly, until he causes the person to become distanced and banished from the holiness of his Judaism to a place of desolated wilderness, a very dangerous place, and he waits for him to capture him in his net, and then he can do something deranged and what truly appears insane, and no human intellect would agree to this, how he could attain this. But even so, because of his true arousal that he had, God grants him success, and he merits to pass over all the fences and obstacles and to break them all, until he merits to finish the matter in perfection. The great wisdom of all the wisdoms is not to be wise at all, rather to be sincere and straight in simplicity. Even someone who has a truly great mind must throw down all the wisdoms and work in the service of the Blessed One with simplicity and sincerity. And one must even act and do things that seem crazy in order to do the will of the Blessed One. For we need to roll around in all sorts of mud and dirt for the service of God and his mitzvot, literally commandments, and not just for a mitzvah, but even everything that has in it the will of God is called a mitzvah, and one must roll himself about in all types of dirt and mud in order to fulfill a certain desire and to give pleasure to God. And when his love for God is so strong, then he is an aspect of a precious and very beloved son to God. For there is the aspect of a son who searches in the secret chambers of the king like a son. And there is the aspect of a servant, who only does the work they give to him, and it is forbidden for him to ask any reason or explanation for his work. But there is a son who loves his father so much that because of the love he does an action of a servant. What a simple servant needs to do, and he goes and jumps into the great battle, into the teeth of the war, and rolls around in all sorts of dirt and mud in order to provide a pleased spirit to his father. And even a simple servant would not do such types of work. And then, when his father sees that his love is so strong until he throws himself into total servitude for his love, then he reveals to him also what would not be given over even to a son. For there are places into which even the son is forbidden to enter, meaning that there are concepts that also the son cannot grasp. But when the son throws away all his wisdom and throws himself into servitude, as mentioned above, through this his father has mercy upon him and reveals to him what is not given even to a son, and he allows him to search in the hidden chambers of the king, that are hidden and concealed exceptionally, until he merits to have revealed to him the aspect of a tzaddik who suffers evil and the evildoer who enjoys good, and he merits to raise up the judgment that has fallen into the abyss and to fix it, for he merits to grasp the concept of a tzaddik who suffers and a wicked one who receives good, which looks like a distortion of justice. And now, when he merits to grasp and to understand this, this is the aspect of rectification of judgment. Through a Rebbe of truth with students, all the things mentioned above are done and rectified. When a person goes after his intellect and his mind, he can fall into many mistakes and stumbling blocks, and to come into great evil, God forbid, as already many have stumbled and fallen greatly through their evil wisdom, and they have erred and caused others to err. God spare us. For the main idea of Judaism is to go in sincerity and simplicity, without any cleverness, and without paying attention to one's own honor at all, just to see if there is honor to God in this or not. And if not, not. Then for sure he will never stumble. The whole main rectification of the world depends on this, that all the ways of evil and erroneous wisdoms from which are down from which are drawn also all types of heresies and atheism with will be nullified from the world, so that one may attach oneself in truth to the true tzaddik, who can repair everything, even in all the places and in all the things that happen to us. It is forbidden to cause oneself to despair, just to search after holiness at all times, and even if it seems to you according to what you know in your soul of the wounds of your heart and your pains, that your chance for attaining the holiness is very remote. Even so, you should do yours, and search after it with all your strength. And even if it appears to you that after you have searched for many, many years, you still have not found it, and have not attained any level of holiness at all, still you should search more and more, until if you are truly strong in this all the days of your life, God will have mercy upon you, and will help you and aid you above the way of nature and human intelligence completely, until you will merit to pass over everything in peace and to finish the thing, to remove the holiness from the husks. The author.